Every morning gives us a silent invitation, an opportunity to begin again, to reset, to live intentionally. But most people wake up rushing, chasing time, chasing deadlines, chasing approval, instead of asking the right questions that give direction to their day. Success doesn't start with action. It starts with reflection. So, before you touch your phone, before you dive into noise, pause and ask yourself these 7 questions. Question 1, and who do I want to be today? Not what do I want to do, but who do I want to be? Because your identity drives your behavior. If you decide to be patient, kind, focused, your actions will naturally follow that identity. Question 2I, what am I grateful for right now? Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. It grounds your mind and reminds you that you already have enough to begin. Question 3, what is one thing I can do today that will make my future self proud? It doesn't have to be massive. It can be a small step, a disciplined choice, a simple act of courage. Small progress compounds into greatness. Question 40, who can I encourage today? Real strength isn't just about personal victory. It's about lifting others. A kind word, a sincere message, a smile. It costs nothing but means everything. Question 5A, what can I learn today? Every day is a classroom. Even mistakes are lessons disguised as discomfort. Ask yourself, what can today teach me that yesterday couldn't? Question 6A, what am I avoiding? Avoidance steals growth. Whatever you fear, that's where your next level hides. Face it, even if your voice shakes. Question 7A, if today was my last day, would I be proud of how I lived it? That question puts everything into perspective. It reminds you what truly matters. Not the noise, not the opinions, not the distractions, but meaning. Because purpose isn't found in the future. It's created question by question, choice by choice, today. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, don't just wake up. Every day begins with a choice, not just what to do, but how to think. The way you start your morning is not a routine, it's a declaration. When you open your eyes, before the world demands your attention, you have a brief, sacred moment to decide the tone of your entire day. Most people rush past that moment. They grab their phones, check messages, and dive into the noise. But the truly intentional ones pause. They take a breath, and they ask themselves the right questions. Your morning questions set the direction of your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your actions. If you wake up asking, why is my life so stressful? Your brain will search for reasons to prove it right. But if you ask, what can I do today to move closer to my goals? Your mind begins to search for possibilities instead. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your focus. It's not magic, it's awareness. You train your mind to look for purpose instead of problems. When you ask intentional questions, you give your day a compass. Without direction, even effort becomes wasted energy. You can be busy but not productive, active but not effective, moving but not progressing. Every morning question acts like a steering wheel, a small turn that changes the entire journey. By asking, who do I want to be today? You remind yourself that success is more about character than circumstance. You shift from reacting to creating, from surviving to leading. This is where inner clarity begins. Mornings are not just about getting ready for the world, they are about aligning with yourself. When your first thoughts are conscious and deliberate, you stop being a passenger in your own life. You begin to act with intention instead of impulse. The world around you may stay chaotic, but you stay grounded. So when the sun rises, don't let the day control you. Guide it. Ask questions that lift your mindset, focus your energy, and awaken your purpose. That single decision, to start with intention, separates those who drift through life from those who design it. Every day holds potential, but it's your questions that unlock it. The morning is your moment to set the course. Make it count. Most people begin their day by writing long to-do lists, filling every moment with tasks and responsibilities. But very few pause to ask a deeper question. Who do I want to be today? That simple shift changes everything. Because life is not only about what you do, it's about the person you become through what you do. Tasks are temporary, but identity is lasting. You can complete 100 things in a day and still feel empty if your actions aren't aligned with who you truly are. When you focus only on tasks, your day becomes mechanical. You start chasing productivity instead of purpose. You may achieve, but you don't always grow. But when you focus on identity, you infuse your actions with meaning. You stop asking, what needs to get done? And start asking, what kind of person do I need to be while doing this? That shift transforms ordinary routines into expressions of character. Even the smallest task becomes an opportunity to live with integrity, kindness, and purpose. Focusing on who you want to be gives you clarity in moments of pressure. When challenges arise, your identity becomes your compass. If you see yourself as disciplined, you act with consistency. If you see yourself as compassionate, you respond with patience. If you see yourself as strong, you don't crumble when things get hard. Identity guides behavior far more powerfully than motivation ever can. Because motivation fades, identity endures. Every action you take reinforces the story you believe about yourself. If you want to become confident, act as someone who believes they already are. If you want to be disciplined, make small choices that reflect discipline. Over time, those repeated choices shape who you are. The goal isn't to do more, but to be more aware, more intentional, more aligned with your values. When you define your day by identity, success stops being about how much you accomplish and starts being about how deeply you live. The list of tasks will always be endless, but your sense of purpose doesn't have to be. Ask yourself each morning not just what's on your schedule, but who you choose to be while facing it. Because when your being drives your doing, every action becomes meaningful, and every day becomes a reflection of your best self. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful practices that can completely shift the way you experience life. It's not about ignoring your problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see what's already good, even in the middle of chaos. Every morning, before the rush of the world takes over, gratitude acts as an anchor. It reminds you that while life may not always go as planned, there is always something to appreciate. A small comfort, a lesson learned, a breath, a chance to begin again. When you focus on what's missing, you invite frustration and comparison into your mind. But when you focus on what's present, you invite peace. Gratitude changes your internal language. Instead of saying, I have to, you begin saying, I get to. You stop viewing challenges as punishments and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. It's a quiet transformation, but it changes everything. The same day, the same circumstances, yet a completely different mindset. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean your struggles disappear. It means you gain the strength to face them without losing yourself. It builds emotional resilience by training your mind to find balance in difficulty. When life throws uncertainty or pain your way, gratitude helps you remember that even in loss, something remains: wisdom, experience, the people who stand beside you, or simply the ability to keep going. It softens the edges of hardship and keeps hope alive when things feel dark. The truth is, gratitude isn't just an emotion, it's a habit. It grows stronger the more you use it. When you consistently take a moment each day to appreciate what you have, your perspective begins to shift permanently. You start noticing the good that was always there but often overlooked. The warmth of sunlight, a small act of kindness, a goal achieved, or even the courage to face another day. These become reminders that life is still giving, still teaching, still offering reasons to be thankful. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, it changes your capacity to handle them. It grounds you in the present, where peace lives. It reminds you that abundance isn't about having everything, it's about recognizing everything you already have. And that awareness becomes the foundation of calm, strength, and lasting joy. Greatness is never built in a single moment. It's built in the quiet repetition of small, intentional actions. The most successful people in the world aren't those who wait for big breaks. They are the ones who stay consistent with small wins every single day. Progress rarely looks dramatic. It often hides in routines, in unseen efforts, in the discipline to show up even when no one's watching. Every small decision, every step forward, every act of perseverance adds up. Over time, these small wins become the foundation of a lasting legacy. We often underestimate the power of daily consistency because we crave instant results. We want transformation to be visible and quick, but real change is slow and steady. It's built through habits that seem insignificant in the moment, but accumulate over time. Reading a few pages a day, exercising for 10 minutes, saving a small amount, or practicing kindness. These actions don't seem life-changing individually, yet collectively they shape who you become. Each small win is a vote for the future you want to create. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about not giving up when it feels repetitive or ordinary. The real strength lies in persistence. in doing what matters even when excitement fades. Every day you show up for your goals, you prove to yourself that you're capable of commitment. And that belief builds confidence. It creates momentum that compounds quietly until one day, what once felt small becomes something extraordinary. A legacy isn't defined by one grand act. It's defined by the character you build along the way. Each consistent effort adds a brick to the structure of your life's work. When you look back, you'll realize it wasn't luck or talent that made the difference. It was the choice to keep showing up. Small wins are powerful because they teach discipline, patience, and self-trust. They turn dreams into habits and habits into achievements. So instead of waiting for the perfect moment, begin where you are. Focus on what you can do today, no matter how small, because transformation isn't a single leap. It's the result of 1,000 small steps taken with purpose, faith, and consistency. Those small wins, repeated daily, become the story of your growth, and the legacy you leave behind. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the moments that challenge you to confront what you've been avoiding. Every fear, every doubt, every uncomfortable truth you try to escape holds the key to your next level. The things you avoid the most often reveal the areas where you have the most potential to grow. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to face it with awareness. When you stop running and start understanding what you fear, you begin to transform it. Awareness gives you power because you can't change what you refuse to face. Avoidance might feel safe, but it silently limits your life. The longer you avoid something, the stronger it grows in your mind. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a big decision, or an old wound, every avoided moment becomes a wall between you and your potential. But when you bring awareness to it, when you name it, face it, and accept it, the wall begins to crumble. You realize that most fears are not as powerful as the stories you tell yourself about them. The act of facing them turns weakness into wisdom and fear into fuel. Courage through awareness is not about forcing yourself into reckless action. It's about observing your fear with honesty and compassion. It's about asking, why am I resisting this? And listening to the answer without judgment. That awareness creates space for understanding, and from understanding comes strength. Every time you confront discomfort, you expand your capacity to handle life. You discover that your fears were never there to stop you. They were there to teach you. When you face what you avoid, you don't just overcome challenges, you evolve as a person. You learn to trust yourself more deeply because you've proven that you can stand in uncertainty and still move forward. You stop being controlled by fear and start using it as guidance. True growth happens when you walk into the spaces that scare you, not because you're fearless, but because you're aware enough to know that courage is born in those moments. The life you want is often waiting on the other side of what you're avoiding, and awareness is the bridge that helps you cross it. Purpose isn't something you find far away in the future, it's something you create in the present moment. Every morning is an opportunity to live with intention, to decide that today will have meaning, not because something extraordinary will happen, but because you will approach even the ordinary with purpose. Most people wait for a perfect time to begin living fully, but the truth is, this moment is the only one that truly exists. When you bring purpose into the present, every action, every word, every thought becomes a reflection of who you choose to be. Living with intention doesn't mean having everything figured out. It means waking up each day with clarity about what matters most and aligning your actions with that truth. It's choosing to be mindful instead of mechanical, to be present instead of distracted. You begin to see that even small, simple routines, making your bed, preparing breakfast, going to work, can become meaningful when done with awareness and care. Purpose transforms tasks into contributions and time into legacy. The power of daily intention is that it keeps you grounded in the now while still moving you toward the future you desire. When you approach your day with purpose, you no longer drift through it reacting to circumstances, you start creating your direction. You respond instead of react. You find peace in progress, even if it's small, because purpose doesn't come from achieving more. It comes from appreciating and fully engaging with what's in front of you. Each morning holds the potential for a fresh start, a quiet reminder that you have another chance to grow, to connect, to create, to make a difference. You don't need grand moments to feel fulfilled. You just need to show up fully to the moments you already have. When you live with purpose in the present, your energy changes, your mindset sharpens, and your heart opens. The world may not change immediately, but you do. And that shift is where transformation begins. So as the day begins, don't just move through time, be alive in it. Bring awareness, gratitude, and intention into every choice. Because a meaningful life is not built in the future, it's built one intentional morning at a time, right here, right now. So as you stand at the start of each new day, remember this: life doesn't change in giant leaps. It changes in the quiet choices you make each morning. The questions you ask yourself, the intentions you set, the gratitude you feel, and the courage you show, these are the bricks that build a meaningful life. Every sunrise is a second chance to realign with your purpose, to live as the person you aspire to be, and to make today matter. Don't wait for inspiration to arrive. Create it through your actions. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Shape it through your mindset. Each morning is not just another day to survive. It's a new opportunity to lead your life with purpose, awareness, and heart. When you wake up tomorrow, don't just open your eyes, open your mind, open your gratitude, open your courage. Because the way you begin your day determines how you live your life. And if you start with purpose, every day becomes a meaningful beginning, one that brings you closer to the best version of yourself.